Okay, here is your text for your independent work time. I'm going to first be reading you the directions. Then I'm going to explain a little bit more about this table. And then I'm going to read the text itself. Please make sure that you listen to this recording at least 2 times. That is what is going to help you be successful. Okay? I would recommend even 3 times perhaps, because this text does have some tricky vocabulary. All right, your directions are: read the text once for flow. In this case, we are listening once for flow. That means I am not doing anything except listening. 2, read the text again for purpose. The purpose is to highlight key terms and ideas. 3, write those key terms and ideas that you highlighted in the chart or on paper if you chose that option. So if you chose paper, you would just set your paper up like the Cornell note taker, and you would write it on paper instead and send your teacher a picture instead of doing it on here. Step 4 is find the evidence that matches your key terms/details and write them on the opposite column on the chart. So the first column is your key ideas and terms, and then they're probably going to just be 1-2 words for each paragraph. Over here on the opposite side, this is where you're going to go back to your text and you're going to look for evidence of whatever you wrote here. Okay? And so these don't even need to be complete sentences. They're just things that the text said about whatever your key idea is. Little pieces of evidence, okay? It can be just a few short words. It can be more than that, but whatever tells you what you need to know. And I've split the note taker into 3 parts because there are 3 paragraphs in this text. So if you want to split it up by paragraph, that will make it a lot easier for you. Okay? Then you want to find evidence that matches. Oh, I already said that. Write the 3-sentence summary. When you're finished with the chart, use the sentence starters. So this is the only time you need complete sentences when note taking, is when we write our summary statement. And you can use what you came up with in the chart to help you formulate these ideas. All right, now I'm going to read the actual text. Who are the critters out at those in-between hours? That's our title. Most of us know about nocturnal animals, animals that are active at night, and diurnal animals, animals that are active during the day, but may not know about crepuscular animals. Okay, so I heard the word nocturnal, animals active at night, diurnal, animals active during the day, and finally crepuscular. Crepuscular, which comes from the Latin word for twilight, is a term for animals that are active mostly at dawn and dusk. Okay, so that's like right as the sun is coming up and right as the sun is going down. Okay, when it's kind of dimly lit outside. There is a very smart reason for picking these dimly lit in-between hours to be active. These animals are avoiding predators. Predators are the animals that hunt them. Many predators are most active during the lightest parts of the day or the darkest parts of the night. Crepuscular animals are instead active in twilight hours, where predators are tired from a night of hunting or they're just waking up, right? So these animals are active in times where a lot of the other animals are not, because usually animals pick the really bright parts of the day to be active if they're diurnal, or they pick the really dark parts of the night if they're nocturnal. So these guys kind of have that in-between zone. Okay. So I'm going to read this sentence again since I was explaining something to you. Crepuscular animals are instead active in twilight hours, where their predators are tired from a night of hunting, or they are just waking up. Plus, it is tough to see during these hours, which gives crepuscular animals even more protection from predators. Well, that is very smart. So this was our first paragraph. This was our second. Now we're going to go on to our third and final. The domestic house cat is a great example of a crepuscular animal, as are rabbits, deer, some bat species, bears, skunks, bobcats, possums, and many, many more species. So a lot of people think the house cat is actually nocturnal, but it's more of a crepuscular animal if you actually look at it. So I've read all 3 paragraphs. Now, as I go back and you listen a second time, your job is to highlight the keywords, the most important words you think you're hearing here. Okay, or big ideas, I guess, right? And if I were you, I'd go one paragraph at a time to do that. I'd highlight my keywords on the first one. I'd go down and I'd write them in the first box because that's paragraph 1 box. Then I'd probably go to the second one. I'd do the same thing. I'd highlight the key ideas. Write in my second box. Finally, do the same thing here. I'd go to my third and I'd write my key ideas here. And I'd probably kind of separate them out. I'd go like, if you have more than one, kind of split it apart so they're not right on top of each other. And then whatever I have here, after that, I'd go back to the text. Let's say I picked the word diurnal. Whatever the text said in that paragraph that's related, I'd write a little note about it. And if I have more than one key idea from that paragraph, I might make the key idea and the evidence that match each other the same color. And then when I go to the next one, I might make it a different color, just so I can see which key ideas and details match each other. You do not have to do that, but it's a recommendation. Once you've got all your details and evidence, you go down here and do your summary, which is the main idea of the text is. So what's the text mostly about? Big idea, overall, okay? How do you know that? One piece of evidence is. Okay, another detail is. So give those examples of how you figured out the main idea. What supports whatever you said the main idea is? How do you know that, right? Okie doke, good luck.